So we're going to hand over now to Ian Smith, who's going to provide a wider context of the impact felt right across the industry. Ian.
Hi there, everybody. Thanks a lot, Chair, Julie. My name's Ian Smith, as already been said. I'm actually a creative arts professional for over 35 years. Run 2 music agencies out of the UK and Vienna, so I'm split-based. But also, as Tim said, this is not just for musicians. This is for the whole of the creative arts industry. Now, that includes dancers, filmmakers, camera women, cameramen, theatre. And what brings that to the front of everyone's page, if you like, is the fact that people like Tim and an industry of over 200,000 professionals in the UK help to support those industries. So we're talking about job losses. We're talking about a loss of soft power in terms of the UK's creative industries. We're also talking about knock-on effects to promoters, to education even, in music education. There's a wide range of what's happening. So why am I here as well? A year ago, I started a free, non-commercial, apolitical website called ukeartswork.info to provide clear, good information before we exited the European Union, because I was finding, as an agent who works with everyone from Phil Rudd to from AC/DC, even had been on stage with Tony Benn and Roy Bailey, to very small artists who are starting off. And we were finding that people, bookers, promoters, were beginning to feel nervous about booking UK-based artists in all areas. Can they still come? What are the costs, etc.? And how can we reduce the impact on us? So bookers were beginning to say, whoa. Now, we have 4 main areas. There are work permits and visas, which is a mixed picture in the EU, 90 days free in Germany and France, and in Germany even for technicians. 6 weeks and any 13 weeks in the Netherlands, you can go and work for free. But other places like Spain, Portugal, 0 ability to work without a work permit. So it's a confused picture. It's extremely difficult for people to still be able to tour easily with the logistics involved. The other aspect of this, of course, are carnets, which is a temporary import-export document for instruments and equipment. It's costly and it's complicated, and it makes life much more difficult. What made the press last week was a solution I'd popped into the evidence committee about touring with work permits. And that thankfully is getting some traction now. So this is not all about saying it's terrible, it won't work. It's about saying it's much more difficult now. And just to echo one thing that Tim said that I find is really important, the importance of this to the UK economy is really big. The creative arts as a whole, it's 11.7% of GDP. Those are DCMS's figures, by the way. 6 billion nearly for music, 111 billion combined for the creative industries. It's really, really important. Music, live performances, theatre, etc., is the engine room of the creative industries. It creates a push for people to actually want to see, to hear, to consume the material. And one last thing, and I'll shut up for now, and if anyone's got questions later, happy to come back. I've seen a lot of things in the press, reaction from the general public. Why should they go and work in the EU when we can't, etc.? It's not about that. It's about music and the creative arts, the fabric of everybody's lives. It's also important financially. It's also important in terms of soft power, and it's important to every man, woman and kid in the UK and the EU. So in terms of the overall impact, it's huge in terms of what we've got to deal with now. There are barriers. They can be overcome if the political will is there. But for now, I'll say no more. I hope that was useful.
No, that was really useful, Ian. And I'm just looking as you're talking to that array of slides and buttons and whatever. I have no clue what you do. It's such a skilled world you work in. But I think the impact on the economy is the thing that has taken people by surprise, just how big this issue is and how many people it affects.